this question we'll be focusing on a higher topic which involves finding the turning point and completing the square. So this is the question that we are looking at today. Find the coordinates of the turning point on the curve with equation y equals 9 plus 18x subtract 3x squared. You must show all of your working. So with this type of question, when we are talking about the turning point, we are talking about on our graph, on our quadratic graph, and this quadratic graph will go this way as the x squared is negative. The turning point is the point in which it turns and goes the other way. So when we are looking for the turning point, what we want to do is complete the square. So to complete the square, the first thing that we need to do is that we cannot have a coefficient greater than 1 for x squared. So we are going to factorise out the negative 3. So if I factorise out the negative 3, I am left with x squared. I am left with subtract 6x, as when I multiply these out together, that would make positive 18x, and I am left with negative 3, so that when I multiply these out, I would get positive 9. Now that my x squared is a coefficient no greater than 1, or smaller than 1, I am now able to complete the square. So if I focus in on what is inside the bracket to begin with to complete the square, first thing I'm going to do is you take x to begin with. Now that will always be at the start of your bracket for completing the square. The next thing that we need to do is half this middle number. So at the moment we've got a 6. So if I half that, I will get 3. So I put subtract 3. And then in my bracket, I close it off and put squared. The next thing that I am going to do is whatever this number here is, I'm going to square it. So I'm going to do 3 squared. Now 3 squared would give me 9. Now I'm going to write subtract 9 here. I cannot forget about the negative 3. So what I need to do is also subtract 3 from this. Now if I simplify this down, I am left with x subtract 3, all in brackets, squared, and then I am left with take away 12. Now if I was to expand this out as a double bracket and collect together the like terms with the negative 12, I would not end up with this at the moment because I've still got this negative 3 that I need to include in my question. So what we're going to do to represent that to begin with is put this in a square bracket, or you could just put it in another set of regular brackets and put the negative 3 outside. Now the format for completing the square cannot look like this. We can only have that single bracket inside. So what I am going to do is multiply this negative 3 out with the bracket and the negative 12. Now I need to keep it inside the bracket here, so I'm not going to fully expand this bracket out, otherwise I would have taken it out of completing the square. So I have got negative 3, x subtract 3 squared, and then I cannot forget to multiply the negative 3 and the negative 12 together, and that would give me positive 36. I am now in the correct format for completing the square. So what I am now going to do is find the coordinates of the turning point, which I can now easily find when you complete the square. So your x value is going to be whatever the number is in here, but obviously it would be positive 3, not negative 3. So that would be my x value, and my y value will be this number here on the outside. Now it will not be the opposite of what is here, it will be the same. So because it's positive 36, this will also be positive 36. 6 here. So my turning point is 336. If you've got any more questions about this or would like me to do another video, please leave me a comment and let me know.